Six p.m. Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Daman Zaman. The headlines. The Prime Minister has reaffirmed the government's resolve to make Pakistan a polio-free country and save the future of children. Shahbaz Sharif has directed to ensure timely completion of all reforms in the Federal Board of Revenue. The Deputy Prime Minister has assured Pakistan's full support to members of the Commonwealth in developing robust solutions to common challenges. Pakistan has called upon the international community to hold Israel accountable for war crimes in the Middle East. The All Parties Hurriyat Conference has emphasized the urgent need for implementation of United Nations Security Council resolutions to resolve the Kashmir dispute. On the first day of the Rawalpindi cricket test against England, Pakistan in their first innings was 73 runs for the loss of 3 wickets at stumps today. And now the news in detail. The Prime Minister Mohammad Shahbaz Sharif has reiterated the government's resolve to make Pakistan a polio-free country to save the future of children. Addressing an event held on the World Polio Day in Islamabad today, he paid tribute to the efforts and sacrifices of the polio workers and support by the international partners. The Prime Minister reaffirmed that the government will face the challenge with an unwavering commitment to purge the country of the crippling disease. The Prime Minister, who also launched a nationwide polio vaccination drive by administering polio drops to children, appreciated the support from international partners, including the World Health Organization, UNICEF, and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, who had contributed to Pakistan's efforts to fight out the polio disease. He also paid tribute to the sacrifices of the polio workers in polio eradication efforts and distributed shields among the family members of the martyred polio workers and also to those who sustained injuries during the polio vaccination drives. Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif has directed for timely completion of all reforms in the Federal Board of Revenue. He was chairing a meeting on the progress of reforms in the FBR in Islamabad today. The Prime Minister emphasized that a cordial and friendly environment should be ensured in the Federal Board of Revenue for taxpayers. Shahbaz Sharif stressed the need to use modern technology to make the taxation and revenue collection system more effective. He also instructed to formulate a strategy for the restructuring of Pakistan Revenue Automation Limited. Besides, he called for enhancing the professional capabilities of the Federal Board of Revenue officers and ensuring their effective utilization. The Prime Minister also directed that the system to check smuggling in the country be further strengthened. The Deputy Prime Minister Mohammad Ishaq Dar has reaffirmed Pakistan's commitment to strengthening democratic institutions, fostering economic growth, and addressing the urgent challenges posed by climate change. He expressed these views while addressing the Commonwealth Foreign Affairs Ministers' meeting held in Apia, Samoa today. The meeting brought together the foreign ministers from across the Commonwealth in the lead-up to the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting to deliberate upon key issues facing the member states. The Deputy Prime Minister expressed Pakistan's full support to the Commonwealth and its commitment to working with member countries to develop robust solutions to common challenges. The Minister for Finance, Mohammad Aurangzeb, has said Pakistan has achieved macroeconomic stability and now the country's economy is moving towards attaining its economic goals due to prudent economic policies of the present government. In an interview with AFP, he highlighted on the country's current account deficit and the stabilization of the Pakistani rupee. The Finance Minister said alongside privatizing state-owned enterprises, Pakistan's IMF deal also rests on increasing its tax base and reforming of the country's power sector. He said Pakistan is hoping to finalize the delayed privatization of PIA and the outsourcing of Islamabad's international airport next month. The Minister for Power Sardar Awais Ahmed Khan Laghari met the Iranian Energy Minister Abbas Ali Abadi on the sidelines of the Third Belt and Road Ministerial Conference held in Qingdao, China. Awais Ahmed Khan Laghari underscored the importance of cross-border energy projects in boosting connectivity and trade. They also discussed future collaboration, particularly focusing on the development of electricity projects in Gwadar, exchanging views on the need for enhanced energy connectivity amongst the regional countries. They underlined the importance of strengthening energy cooperation in power plants operations and maintenance. This is Radio Pakistan. Pakistan has strongly condemned the attack by Israeli forces on the United Nations peacekeepers in Lebanon. The Foreign Office spokesperson Mumtaz Zahra Baloch at the weekly press briefing in Islamabad today said the humanitarian situation caused by Israel's siege of Gaza is a blot on human conscience. The spokesperson unequivocally condemned the brutal and indiscriminate Israeli strikes on Beth Lahia, which resulted in the tragic loss of over 80 Palestinian lives, including women and children. She said targeting the densely populated residential areas without warning and collective punishment of civilians by depriving them of food, water, and essential medicines constitute war crimes. The spokesperson said Israel should also be held accountable for its war crimes and crimes against humanity, and the people of Palestine should be protected from the Israeli aggression. She highlighted that October 27 would be marked as Black Day in Pakistan and around the world on the occasion of the 77th anniversary of the Indian troops landing in Srinagar. The All Parties Hurriyat Conference has emphasized the urgent need for implementation of United Nations Security Council resolutions to resolve the Kashmir dispute. In a statement on the occasion of the United Nations Day being observed worldwide today, the APHC spokesman stressed that global body must exercise its authority to implement Security Council resolutions on Kashmir. He said the unresolved issue continues to call into question the effectiveness of the United Nations. Meanwhile, Kashmiris on both sides of the line of control and around the world will observe October 27th as Black Day to express their utter rejection of the 77 years of illegal occupation by India. Posters displayed by several pro-freedom groups in Srinagar and other parts of the Kashmir Valley drew attention to the tragic consequences in the occupied territory. Tehreek-e-Hurriyat Jammu and Kashmir in its statement demanded immediate release of all Hurriyat leaders and activists from the Indian jails. The Amnesty International has vehemently criticized India for its human rights record in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. In a report, the Amnesty stated that the situation in Kashmir remains particularly concerning, with the Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights urging India to honor its international obligations. The report deplored that rather than engaging with the Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights findings, the Indian authorities have dismissed them on flimsy grounds. 55 more Palestinians were martyred and 132 injured in the relentless Israeli strikes across besieged Gaza during the last 24 hours. The martyrdom toll of Palestinians in the Israeli aggression on Gaza since October 7 last year has now risen to over 42,800. And now cricket. On the first day of the Rawalpindi cricket test match against England, Pakistan in the first innings was 73 runs for the loss of 3 wickets at stumps today. Pakistan trailed by 194 runs. Earlier, England were all out for 267 runs in their first innings. The 3-match series is levelled 1-1. And finally, the weather report. Mainly dry weather is expected in most parts of the country during the next 12 hours. However, rain, wind and thunderstorm may occur at isolated places in Upper Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and Gilgit-Baltistan. And that is the end of this news bulletin. For more news and analyses, log on to our website radio.gov.bk, and you can also watch the live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official